Hello, I'm Walt Disney and I'm going to tell my life story. What's your happy place? Mine was this small town in Missouri called Marshallin. My family moved here when I was 4 years old. I loved the big green fields and weeping willows. There were animals everywhere, and we had every type of apple, including the giant dwarf river apple. There was even a railroad that went through the town. We would fish in the summer and go sledding in the winter. It was a kind of place where neighbors would help each other. It was how the world was supposed to be. It's also where I saw a play called Peter Pan.
I can fly! What's this?
Soon after, I played Peter Pan in our school play. My older brother, Roy, ran ropes, so I can fly! No actor was more committed to this role. When I was growing up, our town seemed like a paradise. And the very best part of it was that my whole family was around. One uncle was an engineer. Another used to teach me all about plants.
That's a Missouri evening primrose.
Here you go, Walter. Something for you to draw in. You're so good at it, you should do it more.
Aunt Maggie's encouragement changed my life, especially because my dad didn't really support my drawing.
How are you ever gonna make money with that?
I don't know, I just like it. When I was 7 years old, I made my first sale. Neighbors bought some of my sketches, but one day my art got me in a little bit of trouble. My parents had gone into town, leaving my sister and me alone. What's this black stuff in this barrel?
Tar?
It's so thick and goopy. Think we can paint with it?
You sure if that's a good idea, Walt? What if it doesn't come off?
Oh, it will come off. Watch this. My tar painting never came off. Years later, when we moved to Kansas City, it was still on the side of our house. My first big art display.
That boy should know better.
When I was 9, we left Marshallin and moved away from the big green fields, the train, the close-knit community in Kansas City. Life was different. I wake up 3:30 in the morning to deliver newspapers. I'm so tired. I'd get home at 6 a.m. and eat breakfast before school. Still so tired. Then I'll leave school half an hour early every day to pick up the newspapers that had to be delivered each afternoon. So tired. For 6 years I had that delivery route. I worked so hard I rarely had any real playtime. Our family needed the money, so I always kept at it. In the winter the snow would come up to my neck. Still so tired and cold. Fortunately, I found friends who understood me. In 5th grade, my neighbor Walt Puffer and I used to perform Charlie Chaplin, presenting the two Walts!
You're doing great.
Some teachers said I was distracted in class, that I was too much of a dreamer.
Walter, pay attention.
I'd spend hours scribbling in my margins of my textbooks, entertaining others by making the pictures move when flipping the pages. Watch this!
Whoa!
Super cool!
Drawing was my happy place. When someone made a clubhouse, I was the one who decorated it. I even decorated the local barbershop. Eventually, I started working for a company that made advertisements. They showed before movies. These ads included something that was just starting back then: animation. This is my friend, an artist named Up Irwig. He'd eventually help me create a character named Mickey Mouse.
Who's Mickey Mouse?
You'll see. Back then, animated cartoons were brand new. I went to the library to learn more, but there was only one book about them. One! My first short film were mainly advertisements, but soon I had my own ideas. Watch this! It's about a little girl who can enter her own dreams. A mix of live action and animation. I'm calling it Alice Wonderland. The film seemed like such a good idea. We started our own company. It was a total failure.
I'm sorry, Walt. You're out of money. It's time to declare bankruptcy.
I was 21 years old and so poor. I slept in my office and take baths once a week at the train station. I never let it get me down. Determined as ever, I moved to California. My big break came from this woman, Margaret Winkler, one of the most successful animation distributors in the country.
I like your Alice Wonderland idea. I'd like to order a series.
Bob Ehrwix came in to help with the animation. Then we took on a new name, Walt Disney Studios. We were on our way to our best creation of all time, Mortimer Mouse.
Mortimer, that's a horrible name.
This is my wife, Leanne. That was her real reaction.
The mouse needs a new name. What about Mickey?
I like it. Way better than Mortimer. That's how Mickey Mouse was born. But our first Mickey cartoon didn't sell. He wasn't an immediate success. We didn't give up. Using a bedsheet as a screen, our studio tested a new cartoon and added music. We put the noisy projector outside so it wouldn't interfere. I hid a small band behind the door, and for the first time in history,
The cartoon! It's in sync with the music.
I've never seen anything like this. This is incredible.
The word you're looking for is historic.
it was historic. Steamboat Willie changed the future of animation. On November 18, 1928, it premiered at the Colony Theater in New York. Did the audience like it? What do you think? But do you want to know the real secret of Mickey's success? Our animators, Up Earwig and so many others brought Mickey to life. From the start, people loved our little mouse. They related to him. The quality has to be the best. Mickey's whole world needs to feel believable. When Mickey bangs the piano, we need to feel it.
See that thing he's doing with his hands? Draw Mickey just like that.
Walt called it personality animation. The audience had to know how Mickey felt and even how the piano felt. Plus, there was a secret that we animators knew. Walt was Mickey and Mickey was Walt. Both fearless, both resourceful.
The world could feel scary, but in Mickey Mouse, audience found a character who took them to their happy place. With each film, we worked harder, always trying to improve. See how the artist draws their own expressions into the characters? The more human the characters' expressions, the more believable the story. On top of that, we always search the perfect voice.
This guy on the radio is singing in a goat voice.
That's our talking duck. That's how I found Clarence Natch, the voice for Donald Duck. Back then, people didn't take animation seriously, but we did. By 1934, I had one of my biggest ideas ever. Instead of just a short cartoon, we're going to do a full-length movie. It will have a princess who loves animals and talks to them. And she lives with a wicked stepmother who's jealous of her. But when she escapes into the forest, she finds a family of dwarfs who makes everyone laugh.
Did you know some of the names that were considered for the dwarfs were Dirty, Blabby, Puffy, Baldy, and Burpy. For real, Burpy!
And in the end, through the love and dedication of her dwarf family, she lives happily ever after. For 3 hours, I acted out the entire movie, every single part. The only question was, would anyone watch a movie-length cartoon for almost 2 hours? They would. Over time, we made more than movies. On Sunday afternoon, I'll take my daughters to the Griffin Park merry-go-round. There's nothing for parents to do here. You've got to have a place where the whole family can have fun. I started studying amusement parks and historical sites. Our plans quickly grew. We can divide the place up into different lands. We'll include worlds of yesterday, tomorrow and fantasy.
What about today?
No, nothing of the present will exist there.
And when you walk in, what will it look like?
Main Street USA. I can see it now. Oh, and we should add a train.
Is he talking about the park or his hometown?
I'm not sure. There's a difference.
Our goal was to build the happiest place on earth. We called it Disneyland. On opening day, parts of the park ended in the dirt, since we didn't have enough money or the time to complete it back then. But to me, Disneyland would never be completed. Not as long there was imagination in the world. Around the same time, we expanded into television, creating shows aimed at the whole family. And of course, we were still making movies.
Silly old bear. Here, give me a paw.
But of all things I built, one of my very best was this. The California Institute of the Arts College, dedicated to building a community of artists. Today, Cal Arts trains the next generation of creators in art, design, film, music, theater and dance. In my life, my best memories came from my childhood. Those were peaceful days, happy days. It wasn't a fantasy land. It was a real place, with real people. So when do you stop being a child? When you stop dreaming, as Peter Pan taught me all those years ago. Think of the happiest thing. It's the same as having wings.
Did you know Walt Disney has won more Academy Awards than anyone else? 32 in total.
He also won the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian award in the United States.
As Walt planned his Disney World, he also imagined a way to help cities. He called it the experimental prototype. Communities of Tomorrow, Epcot. To the plans for his site eventually changed. The park that was built stands in his honor.
Now I want you to think of your happy place. Got it in your heart. I promise you, it will never leave you. It is your own magic kingdom. Our greatest dreams are always a part of us. They nurture us, especially when we nurture them. We can all use some magic in our lives. If you look, it's there. And when you let the magic into your heart, you can fly. I'm Walt Disney, and I know that the person who makes dreams come true is you.
When I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide?
I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride.
A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear. And now I'm in a whole new world with you. The rainstorm and the river are my brothers. The heron and the otter are my friends.
And we are all connected to each other
In a circle, in a hoop that never ends. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to the blue corn moon? Or ask the grinning bobcat why he grins? Can you sing with all the voices of a mountain? Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You think about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things around you. What more is you looking for?
Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore, they work all day. Out in the sun, they slave away. While we devoting full time to floating under the sea. Ever just the same.